Sa bidyong ito, pag-uusapan naman natin ang tungkol sa derivatives. Una-una, ang introduction on derivatives. Pangalawa, finding derivatives using the definition. This one, definition of derivative using the limit, provided that the limit exists. We will start looking at the next major topic in a calculus class, derivatives. So ito yon. This lesson is devoted almost exclusively to finding derivatives. Itong finding derivatives class ay tinatawag din siyang differentiation. We will also be looking at their applications at the later part, the related rates and optimization. So ito yung pinaka-importanting application ng derivative. It's all about related rates and optimization, but we will discuss later at the last part of the topics on derivatives. The aim of this lesson is to explain the procedures of differentiation. Yun nga yun, yung differentiation is finding the derivative and the rules in finding the derivatives of a function. So ano nga ba ang connection nitong derivative sa tinatawag nating tangent line na pinag-usapan natin dun sa ating advanced algebra? The problem of finding the tangent line to a curve involves finding a limit. Pag hinahanap natin yung tangent line to a curve, we are finding the limit of that one. This special type of limit is called the derivative. The equation of a line is essential in this lesson. Kasi nga, if there is a curve and then we will have the tangent line to that curve at the point of the intersection. At yung slope ng line na yon na nandun sa isang point ng curve, yun na yung tinatawag nating derivative of that curve. We can embark on a more generalized view of determining linear equations given a single point located in a particular plane curve. Parang in a curve, every single point there ay pwede nating lagyan ng tangent line. At yun na yung aalamin natin kung ano yung equation ng tangent line na yan dun sa plane curve. Nandito yung ating definition ng tangent line to the graph of a function. Suppose the function f is continuous at x sub 1. The tangent line to the graph of f at the point x sub 1 and f of x sub 1 is, first, the line through P having the slope m given by this formula. M of x sub 1 is equal to the limit as delta x approaches 0 of the expression f of x sub 1 plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x, if this limit exists. Ang tangent line is just the line through the point P na ito yung kanyang slope. And then pangalawa, the tangent line is also the line x equal to x sub 1 if the limit of these two is approaching positive infinity or negative infinity. So the tangent line is the x equals x sub 1. Para maging clear ang lahat, tingnan natin itong illustrative example number 1. Find the equation of the tangent line to the parabola y equals x squared minus 1 at the point 2, 3. Sketch the parabola and show a segment of the tangent line at 2, 3. For the solution, we will compute the slope of the tangent line at this point 2, 3 with the f of x equals x squared minus 1. So we have form 1 doon sa ating formula. M of 2 is just equal to the limit of f of 2 plus delta x minus f of 2 all over delta x. By the way class, ano nga ba itong delta x? So itong delta x class is just a change in x. Halimbawa kasi curve kasi yun. Curve yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. Ito, yung x squared minus 1. So, every point there, pag nag-move tayo within this curve, nag-move tayo, nag-change yung value ng ating x. Kaya, delta x. Change in x. So, kaya, yan. So, kukunin natin ang limit niyan in such a way that this delta x approaches 0. So, yung parang wala nang changes. Yun. So, ano yung magiging value niya? Ano yung magiging m of 2? So, using that formula, we will just substitute. So, ito na yun. And next, this will become, kasi nga yung ating function ay x squared minus 1. So, every time there is an x, we will substitute that by 2 plus delta x. From this ordered pair, if x is 2, f of x is 3. O kung na-remember nyo yung sa algebra, if x is 2, y equals 3. And itong y natin is also the f of x. So, itong x natin dito is 2. So, sabi ko nga, whenever there is x, we will add delta x. Kasi nga, tinitingnan natin yung pag-change ng value. Kaya, magpa-plus tayo ng delta x. So, 2 plus delta x minus f of 2. Okay, so this f of 2 ngayon is 3 ang equivalent dahil doon, f of 2 is equal to 3. Dito naman, 2 plus delta x is magiging 2 plus delta x square. Galing kasi doon sa ating formula, sa ating given na x square minus 1. Kaya, 2 plus delta x square minus 1. O, doon sa 1 pa rin ang galing yan. All over delta x. So, parang sinubstitute lang natin doon sa formula kanina dito. Itong formula na to. F of x sub 1 plus delta x. Ituloy natin. Now, we will just expand this square to the quantity of 2 plus delta x square. So, gamitan natin ang square of a binomial to simplify. So, magiging, okay, 2 plus delta x square, ang equivalent nito ay 4 plus 4 delta x plus delta x square minus 4. Kasi, sinimplify lang natin ito. Negative 1 minus 3 is minus 4. And all over delta x. I-remember nyo lang yung square of binomial nyo ha. 2 plus delta x, that's 2 times 2 is 4. And then 2 times delta x times 2 is 4 delta x. Yun yung formula ng ating square of a binomial. And then last there is delta x square. And then we will just simplify this. O itong 4 dito at saka minus 4, makakancel na yan. And then itong delta x square at saka 4 delta x, pwede natin i-factor yung delta x dito kasi common sa dalawang term. So, magiging, ayan, pinactor out natin yung delta x. Ang naiwan na lang sa loob ay 4 at saka isang delta x. So, take note, yung 4 at saka negative 4 dito, na-cancel na yan. And then, bakit natin pinactor? Kasi we want to cancel out this delta x. So, delta x here and delta x here can be canceled out. So, ang may iwan ay 4 plus delta x. So, the limit of 4 plus delta x as delta x approaches 0. So, wala na ito class. Disregard this, okay? Na-double lang ito. Hindi na ito kasali sa solution. Okay. After this step, nag-cancel na yung delta x dyan. Ito na yung kanyang kasunod. Okay? So, disregard this line. So, now, we can now substitute delta x is approaching 0. So, delta x here will be 0. So, this will become, the limit of this is 4. So, ano nga yung derivative na yan na 4? Yan na ngayon yung slope ng tangent line dun sa point na 2 and 3. The slope now is 4. Now, para ma-solve natin yung equation of that tangent line, gamitan natin itong point-slope form of an equation of a line. So, galing ito sa ating algebra lesson. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x sub 1. So, given yung ating y sub 1 at saka x sub 1, yun yung point na 2 and 3, yung ordered pair na given. And m, na-solve na natin in the previous, that is equal to 4. So, we will just substitute. So, magiging y sub 1 natin doon ay 3, x sub 1 is 2, m is 4, kaya naging y minus 3 equals 4 times the quantity of x minus 2. We will just distribute this 4, multiply inside the parentheses. This will become 4x minus 8, that's 4 times 2 is 8. And then we will equate to 0. So lahat ng values dito, 4x, transfer to the other side, magiging negative 4x. Itong negative 8, pagdating sa kabila, magiging 8. And then, no change with y minus 3. Okay, combine this, negative 3 plus 8 is 5. So, ayan na, negative 4x plus y plus 5 equals 0. Since negative yung ating first term dito, to make it standard, dapat kasi positive yan. So, we will just multiply all of the term by negative 1 para ma-reverse yung kanilang mga signs. So, magiging 4x minus y minus 5 equals 0. So, to show the graph, ito na yung graph ng dalawa. The red curve here is the graph of the y equals x squared minus 1. Ito yung kinuna natin ng derivative kanina. And then, itong blue line dito, ito yung equation ng tangent line na sinolve natin kanina. 4x minus y minus 5 equals 0. Or, you can also write that in this form, y equals 4x minus 5. So now, I want to enlarge this graph para makita nyo talaga ito na yung point of intersection ng curve at nitong line ay nandito. Nandyan sa point na 2 and 3. Ito yung tanong kanina na ano yung magiging equation ng line at this point. So, this point actually is the intersection, kumbaga, the point of intersection of this tangent line to that curve. So, in this point, ang slope ng curve na to ay also the slope of this line, which is 4. Kaya yung derivative na nakuha natin is also the slope of this curve at the point 2 and 3. So, yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Yun ang connection ng derivative, ng slope, at ng tangent line. Now, let's have the formal definition of the derivative of a function. The derivative of the function f is that function denoted by f prime, such that its values at a number x in the domain of f is given by this formula if this limit exists. Nakita nyo yung ginamit natin kayo ng formula for the finding the slope. Yun na rin yung formula nito. Similar kasi yun. Yung finding the slope is also finding the limit of that curve. F prime equals, the derivative of f equals, ito, the limit of this expression as delta x approaches 0. So, f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by delta x. If x sub 1 is a particular number in the domain of f, then magiging, halimbawa, constant siya. So, dagdag lang din tayo ng delta x. X sub 1 plus delta x minus f of x sub 1 all over delta x. The limit of this as delta x approaches 0. Or, the derivative of y equals fx at x. The derivative of this is given with this formula provided that the limit exists. Ito yung nakita nyo doon sa introduction. Ito yung formula, no? The derivative that is dy over dx, ibig sabihin, derivative of y in terms of x. You can also write that as f prime of x. And this is the formula for determining the derivative of this function y. So, showing here in this graph, nakita nyo, if this is our curve, ito yung magiging function natin, the f of x. And then there exists x sub 1 here, this point. Ayan, x sub 1. And then we have here the tangent line. So, whenever there is an x sub 1 there, kung gusto natin kunin yung derivative nito, itong f of x, in this case, pag dito siya sa point na to, this is also the same with the slope of this tangent line. Okay, nandyan na. Kaya sabi ko lang, basahin mo na lang. So, we have different symbols for the derivative of a function. First, dy over dx. Read as derivative of y in terms of x. Or y prime. Y apostrophe. Read as y prime. Or f prime of x. Yun na, binasa ko na. Read as f prime of x. O pwede rin ganito. D over dx of f of x. Read as derivative of a function of x. Ayan. So, ang apat na to ay pare-pareho. So, we can use these symbols in finding the derivative of a function. Ayan. So, we have here example number 1. Use the definition of derivative to differentiate y equals 3x minus 1. So, alam natin, this y is also equal to the f of x equals 3x minus 1. So, bakit ko in-emphasize ito? Kasi nga, in the formula, we are using the f of x. Differentiating y with respect to x, we will use this formula. So, itong f of x na nandito, minus f of x, itong ating isa-substitute. Okay? Itong f of x plus delta x, whenever there is an x in the functions, papalitan natin yung x na yan ng x plus delta x. Yan ang ibig sabihin nito. And then all over, constant itong delta x. I mean, hindi constant, but we don't have to change this. Ang papalitan natin is itong x plus delta x at saka itong f of x. Okay, now, let's proceed. Ito na. The limit of this as delta x approaches 0. Yung f of x plus 3x delta x natin ay naging ito kasi 3x minus 1. So, palitan natin yung x ng x plus delta x. Kaya naging 3 times x plus delta x minus 1. Yun lang din yun. Pinalitan lang natin yung x. Dinagdagan natin ng x plus delta x. Minus 1, of course, yung buong expression dapat kasali dyan. Minus f of x. So, minus, kupain lang natin yun. Kasi yan yung f of x natin. 3x minus 1. Now, we will simplify the numerator. So, i-multiply natin itong 3 dito sa loob. I-distribute natin. 3 times x plus 3 times delta x. Magiging, ito na, 3x plus 3 delta x minus 1. And then itong minus the quantity of 3x minus 1. Kasi nga may parenthesis dito, so magiging negative yung 3x at yung negative 1 ay magiging positive 1. Kasi parang nag-multiply tayo dyan ng negative 1. And then we will simplify. Kita natin itong 3x at may negative 3x dito. Cancel na yan. 0 kasi yan. Then negative 1 here at saka yung positive 1 here. Cancel na din. So, ibig sabihin, ang may iwan sa numerator natin ay 3 delta x. So, yan na lang yung naiwan. 3 delta x over delta x. Now, what is the limit of this as delta x approaches 0? So, since delta x here is common, we can again cancel delta x into the numerator and denominator. The final expression that we are going to get the limit is 3 na lang. The limit of 3 as delta x approaches 0. So, alam nyo naman, the limit of the constant is always equals to the constant kasi wala na nga yung variable natin na delta x. The answer for this is just equal to 3. Ibig sabihin, ang derivative ng y equals 3x minus 1. The derivative of 3x minus 1 is 3. And number 2, find the derivative of this function y equals 1 minus 3x squared minus 2x cubed. So, using the same formula, whenever there is x there, papalitan natin ng x plus delta x. So, kaya, ang ating f of x plus delta x is ito din. Yun nga lang, pinalitan natin yung x ng x plus delta x. Kaya, ito magiging 1 minus 3. Okay, 3x squared is 3x plus delta x squared. Minus 2x cubed maging 2x plus delta x cubed. So, papalitan lang talaga natin yung x ng x plus delta x. And then minus, okay, minus here in the formula, f of x. So, f of x is here. Kopyahin lang ng buo yung given na f of x or y. Ito. So, kopyahin lang dyan. Minus that. Okay? So, dahil nag-minus ka niyan, so don't forget, lagyan ng parenthesis. Kasi pag sinimplify mo to, lahat ng sign sa loob niya ay mababaliktad. So, magiging negative 1 plus 3x squared plus 2x cubed. We need also to simplify this. 3 times x plus delta x squared. Kailangan natin i-expand itong x plus delta x squared. Ito din, expand din natin to. X plus delta x cubed. So, kailangan nyo i-remember yung formula ng cube of a binomial and square of a binomial in our algebra. Minus 3 times, ito na yung expansion ng x plus delta x squared. That x squared plus 2 times x plus delta x, kaya 2x delta x. Plus, the square of delta x is delta x from our formula. So, i-remember nyo talaga yan, class. Yung paano kunin yung square of a binomial. Also this, cube of a binomial. Ito yung kanyang equivalent. So, ang haba-haba. Nakita nyo. x cubed plus 3x squared delta x plus 3x delta x squared plus delta x cubed. Yun, o x plus delta x yun. Minus, o negative 1 plus 3x squared plus 2x cubed all over delta x. So we will evaluate the limit of this as delta x approaches 0. We'll simplify again further. Etong 3 dito, i-distribute natin sa loob, i-multiply natin 3 times x squared, 3 times 2x, delta x, 3 times delta x squared. Yung 2 dito sa kabila, ganun din, 2 times this one, 2 times 3, 2 times 3x, 2 times that, and then the result is this one. Ayan, humahaba na humahaba. 3x squared is ito na, 3 times 2x, delta x is negative 6 delta x, and so on. So, ito lang equivalence. Now, we will simplify this further. We combine like terms kung meron, o tingnan natin kung meron. Okay, tingnan natin. Itong 1 here, at saka yung negative 1 dyan, 0 na yan. Wala na. We have here negative 3x squared dito. Meron siyang partner na positive 3x squared doon. Kaya 0 na yan. Wala na rin yan. So, may iwan ito. Negative 6x delta x. I think walang ka-partner. Kaya, andyan siya. And then, ito. 3 delta x squared. Wala din ka-partner. Kaya, nandun. And then, itong 2x cube. Meron siyang partner na iba yung sign. Negative 2x cube. 2x cube. Cancel. Kaya, out na sila. Ito yung susunod. 6x squared delta x. So, ayan na siya. And then, negative 6x delta x squared, andito na. And then, last, 2 times delta x cubed, nandito na. So, yung mga iba dyan is na-cancel kasi meron silang partner na negative nila. And then, from here, so, ang purpose lang naman natin dito, dapat ma-factor out itong delta x para ma-cancel yung nasa denominator. So, nakita natin lahat ng term dito sa resulting numerator natin ay meron siyang delta x. So, we will factor out delta x from each of these terms. And then, ayan, we factor out delta x. So, inilabas natin si delta x. And naiwan dito sa first term is negative 6x na lang. Dito, naiwan is negative 3. May naiwang isang delta x kasi nga square siya. So, dalawa. Ito, lumabas na yung delta x kaya naiwan 6x squared na lang. Dito, lumabas yung isang delta x kaya may naiwan pang isang delta x. O, ito. Delta x cubed. So, tatlo yan. So, lumabas yung isa, kaya may naiwan na delta x squared. So, yung pinactor out natin na delta x, ito, pwede natin ngayon i-cancel sa denominator. Ayan, cancel, cancel. Ang maiwan, yung sa numerator na lang, this one. So, now, we can now evaluate this when delta x is approaching 0. So, lahat ng may delta x class, cancel out na yan. Cancel na to. Kasi magiging 0 na yan. Cancel na rin to kasi magiging 0. Cancel din to kasi magiging 0. Ang naiwan, negative 6x at saka negative 6x square. Naulit lang class, so don't mind that. But this is the final answer. Negative 6x minus 6x square. So yan na yung derivative ng problem kanina. We can also write the summary. The derivative of y in terms of x or the derivative of this function is negative 6x minus 6x squared. Okay, we have another example for this. This time, try natin kapag rational expression. Find the derivative of y with respect for... medyo mali pag sulat nito, class. It must be find the derivative of y with respect to x for... This must be y equals x over x plus 1. Ayan. Rewrite ko na nga lang. So, this will become y with respect to x. Dapat yan. Okay, may singit dito na... Oh, no. Dito na sa baba. Kasi, ayan, to x. And then, ito, dapat is y equals x over x plus 1. So, ganyan siya dapat. Kunin natin ang derivative niyan gamit ng definition natin. Ayan. We will substitute that. Okay? So, yung x natin dito, papalitan nga natin ng x plus delta x. Sa substitution here, for f of x plus delta x ay magiging fraction pa rin kasi nga x plus delta x, yung numerator natin doon, all over x plus delta x plus 1. Kasi nga may x pa rin sa denominator, so magiging x plus delta x yan. Numerator maging x plus delta x. So, lahat ng may x nga dyan, palitan ng x plus delta x. Kaya itong expression na to, ito na yung kanyang equivalent nung dinagdagan natin ng delta x minus f of x. So, minus that, kupin nyo lang uli yan, x over x plus 1 all over delta x. So, delta x, so need to change this. Yung sa taas lang talaga papalitan natin and then simplify. So, since fractions, yung nasa taas natin, difference of two fractions. So, gamitan natin ang difference of two fractions. Then, paano ba i-minus yung fractions sa rational expression in short. So, getting the LCD of this, alam natin ang LCD is x plus delta x plus 1 and x plus 1. We just multiply that. So, magiging, ito na yung LCD natin, x plus delta x plus 1 times x plus 1. Parang i-cross multiply lang. X plus 1 times that. So, x plus delta x times x plus 1. And then, you cross multiply this. Kaya, x times x plus delta x plus 1 all over yung LCD natin, the product of the denominator, all over delta x. Now, we have to simplify the numerator further. So, meaning we multiply this binomial times binomial. Ito, monomial times trinomial. So, i-multiply natin talaga isa-isa. Distributively. So, magiging, ito hindi na pinakita, but the result of the numerator is delta x na lang. Kailangan natin ipakita. So, we have to show you. X times x is x squared. Ilagay ko na lang dito. X times 1, that's plus x. Delta x times x is plus x. Delta x. Huwag i-multiply yung x at saka delta x kasi magkaiba yung x at saka delta x. So, pagtabihin na. And then, delta x times 1 is plus delta x. And then, it's sa kabila. Minus x minus x. X times x is, okay, minus x squared. X times delta x. So, minus x delta x. And then, x times 1, kasi minus din, so minus x. So, kung nakikita natin, ito, x squared dito, minus x squared, 0 na yan. X minus x here, 0. X delta x minus x delta x, 0. Kaya ang naiwan, delta x na lang. So, kaya delta x all over x plus delta x plus 1 times x plus 1. Since we have here the division of fractions, i-multiply natin yung numerator by the reciprocal ng denominator. The denominator natin is delta x. Ang reciprocal niyan is 1 over delta x. So, we will multiply that para makancel actually yung delta x. So, naging, gano'n na siya. Okay, numerator, delta x all over this times 1 over delta x. Mag-cancel itong delta x dito, class. Kaya ang maiwan na lang is 1 over x plus delta x plus 1 times x plus 1. Now, getting the limit of this, as delta x approaches 0, so lahat ng may delta x dyan, magiging 0 na yan. Kaya maiwan sa denominator natin ay, eto na, x plus 1 at saka x plus 1. Ito na yung ating final answer, the derivative of the y equals x over x plus 1. Or, we can also combine this kasi pareho, x plus 1 times x plus 1 is also the same with the quantity of x plus 1 squared. Ayan, so, doon na nagtatapos yung lesson natin para sa araw na to. We have here some exercises. We have to answer this, A and B, and I think may C pa yan. Ayan. So, for A, tulad dun sa ating example na una, find the slope of the curve at a given point. Okay, so sagutan nyo to. And then letter B, find the equation of the tangent line to the graph of the equation at the given point. Sketch the graph. So, meron tayong example dun sa kanina. So, sasagutan nyo lang din ito, but pipili lang tayo ng inyong sasagutan. And then letter C, find the derivative of x by applying the definition of derivative, which is this one. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, class. By the way, class, okay, please If you don't mind, please support by subscribing or liking. Thank you.